Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2016 Retail Branch Lobby Study webinar brought to you by FMSI. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chad Davis, Senior Vice President of Marketing at FMSI, and I will be one of the speakers for today's call. Today we're going to start off by talking about the right data and measuring that. We're then going to move on to the 2016 FMSI Retail Branch Lobby Study metrics, which include wait times, assist times, and product versus service interactions. We're then going to take a closer look at Digital Federal Credit Union and how they're using lobby management software to help improve their retail branch and performance. After that, we're going to look at using cross-sell metrics to improve wallet share. We're then going to have management tips. And then we're going to get a closer look at FMSI's lobby tracking software with Kip Sweeney, one of our product managers, who's going to review the software in detail. At the very end, we're going to have an open discussion, including a Q&A session. You will have the opportunity to ask questions throughout the webinar. On the right side of your screen on the control panel, there is an area for you to type questions. We will answer questions immediately following the presentation. Today's speakers include myself, the FMSI SVP of Marketing, Michael Casey, the Digital Federal Credit Union Regional Branch Manager, and Kip Sweeney, the FMSI VP of Product Management. Would you be surprised to know that 60% of your platform activities do not involve selling products? With various systems capturing product information such as DDA systems, time deposit systems, loan systems, and credit card systems, and in most cases, no dedicated system for tracking detailed lobby service metrics, management has struggled with understanding the actual performance in the branch lobby. Furthermore, it is very common for the absence of key lobby performance indicators to go completely unnoticed. Many financial institutions have enormous potential to increase sales and branch service by better capturing, measuring, and managing their lobby sales and service interactions. The FMSI Retail Branch Lobby Study is based on 780,000 interactions taking place during the third quarter of 2015 on the platform side of the branch, from financial institutions all over North America. This webinar will cover key industry metrics such as average lobby wait times for account holders, average account holder assist times with lobby service representatives, product versus service interaction percentage breakdowns. With the data and analysis reviewed in this webinar, executive management teams will have a guide to help them drive the appropriate behaviors to improve branch performance and, most importantly, get ideas on how to measure and track this improvement. All right, so measuring the right data. When setting performance goals, management can often struggle to measure the right key performance indicators, establish realistic and achievable goals, and then manage these numbers. Many financial institution executives have experienced these challenges around managing toward a desired outcome without serviceable metrics. When establishing lobby performance goals, management typically starts by identifying all available performance data. With limited data available on the platform side of the branch, this initial step may prove to be very difficult. The data on this slide can be available in real-time dashboards for institutions that have implemented dedicated branch tracking systems from business intelligence application experts like FMSI. So average assist times, average account holder wait times, product versus service interaction percentages, top products sold, services most often provided, and cross-sell ratios are all available. Institutions can use this data for more targeted coaching, identifying busy and slow periods, recognizing top performers, and stopping poor service occurrences through electronic alerts to management when time thresholds are surpassed. All right, the 2016 FMSI Retail Branch Lobby Study metrics. The first ones we're going to review here are the branch lobby wait times. The wait time is the amount of time tracked between the moment an account holder signs in electronically when they arrive at the branch and the beginning of the service representative meeting. If your institution is particularly concerned about wait times, your account holder can now easily schedule a branch appointment through your institution's website or mobile banking application with the utilization of appointment software. Learn more about FMSI's Omnix Appointment Concierge on our website. The top 10 versus bottom 10 versus the study average. So when you look at the variance between these three groups on this slide, you can realize it could be caused by a multitude of factors, including an understaffed or overstaffed lobby, employees spending too much time with each account holder, or inefficient institution procedures. The key is to use this detailed data to help identify performance and service issues, such as the amount of time each lobby service representative spends with account holder per product service, also known as assist times. If these representatives are spending excessive amount of time with account holders, wait times may be longer. Steps can be taken, such as coaching, to improve these critical service metrics. The next metrics we'll be reviewing is assist times. Assist times is the duration the account holder interacts with the lobby service representative. Whether one or multiple product services are discussed, the time captured in the below data is between the moment the service representative starts and stops the session with the account holder. Lobby reporting systems typically capture assist times at the institution level, the branch level, and the employee level. As you can see in the chart on this slide, the overall average assist time has been trending up. This increase can be attributed to a number of reasons, including service representatives doing a better job cross-selling, growing pains as institutions transition to a universal employee model, or declining employee performance caused by poorly funded training programs. The approximate 6-minute difference in the top 10 and average groups can seem like an eternity for some busy account holders. What is causing this gap? Study the amount of time each employee spends with an account holder per product service and compare different staff's performances to establish benchmarks. Is one service representative's assist times too short and producing careless errors? Conversely, is one service representative's assist times too long, and are they overperforming, aka excessive socializing? Based on these findings, coaching programs can be implemented to guide the desired staff behavior. Separating and tracking the number of product and service interactions in the lobby allows management to analyze the primary platform activity occurring. Lobby reporting systems typically capture these percentages at the institution level, the branch level, and the employee level. As you can see in these charts, in 2015, institutions averaged more product interactions than 2013 and 2011, indicating they are making progress on focusing their sales efforts. For many years, the financial services industry has touted a sell, sell, sell culture. In these challenging economic times, the sales culture has never been more important. Using the product service percentage breakdown as a key performance indicator can be instrumental in understanding your lobby performance. Set a goal, measure the trend, and manage to the behaviors to obtain the desired results. FMSI recommends a 60-40 product service split for a high sales performing lobby. What is your split? At this point, I'm going to pass it over to Mike from Digital Federal Credit Union, who's going to share with you his experience with improving his lobby service experience with the help of branch software. Mike?
All right, great. Thanks, Chad. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Casey. I am a regional branch manager and a branch operations manager for Digital Federal Credit Union. We also call it DCU. And at DCU, we have 22 full-service branches, primarily in Massachusetts. We have a few in southern New Hampshire as well. And I've worked for DCU for 30 years. It's always been kind of in the front line. I've worked in the branches, and then I've also worked in the call center for a little bit. But throughout the 30 years, it's always been with the frontline staff. And, you know, for so many years, we had challenges with our lobby tracking. When members would come in, they would sit down in the lobby. And because we have a pretty busy lobby at times, sometimes there were some disagreements as to who the next person was that needed some help. And So we have these issues, and in some cases as well, we have a couple branches with 2 entrances, and that made it even doubly worse because members would come in from both sides of the branch and not realize that there were members waiting on the other side. And so some branches resorted to a clipboard and paper and pen to kind of write down who was next, but that wasn't always the best solution as well. So in July of 2015, we contacted FMSI and we initiated the lobby tracking system at that time. The lobby software really improved efficiencies in a lot of different ways, and that would be on the teller line as well as the member service offices, and I'll go over that a little bit further down the road. What we decided to do, as you can see here in the picture, is set up a kiosk in the lobby. So this is a freestanding kiosk. It's it's not connected to power, so if we find that that location is not the best spot, we can always move it around a little bit. But these kiosks have been placed directly in front of the entrances in most cases, so that members walk in, it's right in front of them, they can see that they can sign in, and it's worked out pretty well to get people to do that, although there are still some members who kind of walk right past it, not realizing that we have this new system in place, even though it's been there for about a year. So as I said, it has improved efficiencies in a number of different ways. First of all, the member walks in, they can sign in on the kiosk, they input their name, they can input a little bit of information as far as why they're there and what they're looking to do, and then they're directed to have a seat. So the efficiencies really come in because the MSRs know who the next person is available and what they're looking for, but the teller line also helps out quite a bit, and they're very involved. They really love the system because they can keep an eye on the tracker and they can see what member is waiting for what purpose. So sometimes members think that they need the MSR office to do some simple things like maybe get something notarized or make an address change, where we can take care of that at the teller line. So the tellers do keep an eye on the tracker. They can see that members are waiting maybe for an address change, and if the teller line isn't very busy, they can step out of the line, go over to the member, ask if they can help them at the teller window, and take care of their needs. So that frees up the MSR from members waiting to see them for maybe opening products, and then it also kind of keeps that member moving along. They also like the fact that they can provide notes in the tracking system for the MSRs, and sometimes the member will walk up to the teller line and they'll say that they're interested in maybe a car loan, and so the teller will talk briefly about our car loans and maybe also kind of introduce a Visa product or something else in addition to the car loan. So when the member goes to sit down waiting for the MSR, the teller can put notes in the system and just say, gentleman with a black shirt is interested in a car loan, and I've also talked to him a little bit about our Visa card, so he may be interested in that as well. So they really like the fact that they can give the MSRs a heads up about what the conversation was about. The MSRs really love the system because they know who the next person is, and they like the fact that they can come out, greet them by their first name in the lobby, and get a little bit of information. Sometimes it's a short walk from the waiting area maybe to their office, and so during that time they can build some rapport with the member, kind of talk a little bit about why they're here, and how they can help them. So it's a very personalized experience that way, and they really feel that it's helpful. Also, the MSRs know before they greet the member if they're there for a new account, for a new loan, mortgage, whatever it might be. They've got a little bit of information ahead of time, so they're not going into it blind. So they really do like the fact that they know what the member's waiting for. The managers also really love the system because they can understand their staffing needs, and then based on the average wait times, they can determine what their busy periods are. So they have a better understanding of the service that their branch is providing. On a Saturday, our Saturdays are very busy, as it is in a lot of places. So on Saturdays, the manager knows what their average wait time is, and they can staff appropriately. They can also drill down to the individual employee and see what that employee's average assist time might be. So this helps with training to determine if the employee might need a little bit more assistance in utilizing resources. If we have a pretty good idea that maybe opening a loan or car loan might take 15 to 20 minutes, all said and done, and a member or an employee is taking, maybe 30, 45 minutes for that, we can do a little coaching to find out what the longer time period might be, or we might end up uncovering that maybe that employee is just maybe being a little too social and kind of talking a little too much about outside stuff and not necessarily why the member's there. So again, good coaching tools on a number of different ways looking at the average assist time. It took a little time for members and employees to get used to the system. Our existing members would literally walk past the kiosk and sit down because that's what they were used to for so many years. And so it took them a little bit of time to realize that we had the kiosk available for them to sign in. But again, the tellers help out with that a lot. If they can see in the system that no one is signed in and there's a member sitting down in the waiting area, they can walk over to them and find out why they're here, offer to sign them in for them so that they can get into the queue. The employees also, because it's still kind of a little bit of a manual system as far as checking in employees, we're checking them out of the lobby and then actually finishing up the transaction, employees kind of get out of the habit of checking the member in when they come into the office. So that can affect the average wait time, and it can also affect the average assist time if they forget to complete the transaction when the member leaves. So they have to get kind of used to that a little bit, but the managers are able to see through the reports. The reporting is very robust, and they can drill it down from a branch level down to the employee level to see how long the average assist time was, how long the wait time was, and if they can kind of see that, a wait time was around 30 minutes, but really nobody really kind of waited that long. It was probably more like 5 or 10. They realized that the employee just kind of forgot to check the member out of the lobby and check them into their office. So they can adjust those times on the reports so that they can have more accurate information. So in general, again, we're very happy with the system. We've been using it for over a year now. I've asked branches for feedback, and they've all responded pretty much with the stuff that I've discussed today as far as why they like it so much and how they use it. And they really feel that the efficiencies have really come through for the branch, and the member experience is that much better. So that's about it, Chad. I'll take it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Tracking, measuring, and managing a cross-sell ratio in the branch platform environment can be accomplished through an on-demand sales reporting solution such as FMSI's Omnix Lobby Tracker. When an account holder arrives in the lobby, the product service they intend to transact are recorded in the software, and then throughout the sales process, as additional products are sold, this information is also captured. The system then prepares a cross-sell ratio. For example, in the figure on this screen, on average, what service representative number 2 sold approximately 3 times as many products than their account holders originally intended to purchase when they arrived at the branch. Extensive research has proven that when account holders purchase 3 or more products or services from your financial institution, they are much more likely to remain loyal. With such a high cost for acquiring new sales, the importance of reducing attrition is critical to the success of your organization. How are you currently measuring your cross-sell efforts? Incorporate cross-sell metrics into employee performance reviews and watch these numbers improve as a direct result. All right, we're now going to review some management tips. Management tip number 1, deploy self-directed technology like kiosks. There are sophisticated self-directed technologies in the marketplace enabling account holders to complete some lobby interactions, such as Diebold in-branch technology and interactive kiosks. Investing in these technologies can decrease wait times, reduce labor costs, portray your branch as being technologically advanced, and give access to branch service outside of regular branch hours. All right, management tip number 2. Utilize alert technologies to prevent poor service. A strong argument can be made that the lobby wait time is the most important metric in the service experience mix. Putting controls in place such as pop-up alerts provided by FMSI's Omnix Lobby Tracker forewarns of excessive wait times, which prevent service issues. The process is simple. If a specified time threshold is passed, an alert box will pop up on each service representative and retail management's computer screen, notifying them of a person waiting in the lobby. In addition, emails can be sent out allowing remote or traveling managers to receive notification which helps maintain accountability. All right, management tip number 3. Channel lobby service traffic to your call center. Many of the simpler interactions that take place in the lobby between the account holder and the service representative are better suited to be handled over the phone by the institution's call center. This option provides account holders with convenience. They would not only save time waiting for a service representative, but they would also avoid the inconvenience and time associated with driving to the branch. All right, management tip number 4, tablet integration in the lobby. Like Mike just showed us, consider the option to integrate a tablet device into the queue management system sign-in process. Compared to other self-service technologies, a tablet reduces the cost for installation by 80%, occupies a smaller footprint, and provides a familiar web interface. All right, management tip number 5, utilize lobby wait time widgets. Lobby wait time widgets allow account holders to access an estimated current branch wait time on either a financial institution's website or mobile app, helping them decide whether they have enough time to visit the branch. All right, last management tip, number 6, scheduling lobby employees to demand. Staffing your lobbies based on forecasted activities is now possible with staff scheduling software like FMSI's Omnic Staff Scheduler. Learn more about how you can optimize your staffing costs, including scheduling Universal Associates, on our website at fmsi.com. At this point, I'm going to pass to Kit, who will be giving you a closer look at how FMSI's lobby software works. Kit?
Thanks, Chad. Today we'll be looking at Lobby Tracker, which is a sophisticated lobby management application that's used both for the benefit of a visitor who's approaching the branch or for an organization who's looking to better understand the experience of their visitors in the lobby, how long they're waiting, improving those touch points. What I'm going to show you first today is from the experience of the visitor who's going to check in at a self-check-in kiosk. Alternatively, we have branches that use other approaches as well where the visitor will check in at a teller line or at a reception desk. Either way, the process flow is the same. We have an electronic record of that visitor who's entered the branch, and we can find out how long they waited, when they signed in, who they spoke to. We'll get into later in our demonstration today the perspective from the branch staff who are assisting the members. So right now I'm a visitor. I'm going to check into the Pacific Hills branch. I want to see someone about business services. I have several options here. I can sign in to see a staff member. I can book an appointment without having to speak to someone necessarily. And I can even check in for an appointment if I already have one that I've booked. So I'm going to sign in to see the next available team member. I do not have an appointment. And I am going to enter my name. I have the opportunity to enter account number and phone number. These fields are customizable by the organization, so you can choose which fields you want to gather information about. And I'm going to select the business account. When I click check-in, I'm going to be presented with a list of the people who are ahead of me just by position, as well as the time that they checked in. This provides me as a visitor with an anticipation of how long I will be waiting. So that's really the perspective, the visitor's check-in process. After that, they're going to have a seat in the lobby. Someone will come and assist them. Let's take a look at what that looks like from the branch side. So now from the perspective of the staff, we've recently redesigned our software so that it fits well within a tablet. So let's assume that I am a member service representative. I'm walking around with my iPad. I have a list of those visitors that have checked into the lobby who are waiting. You can see we've got some very long wait times here. We've got some service issues. We only have 2 staff signed in, and yet we've got 5 visitors waiting, so that's an alert right there. I can see the type of walk-in that we have or the type of visitor that we have, whether they have an appointment or they just walked into the branch. I can see who they've requested, the products and services they're here for, and then any notes. So we're going to assist, typically we would assist the first person that had been waiting the longest, but just for the purpose of the demo. I'm going to assist Mr. Smith, who we checked in earlier. So I will walk up to Mr. Smith and say, Mr. Smith, please come back to my office and let me help you out with that business services. So I'll click on the assist. And now I'm going to go through assisting him with his needs. Once I've finished, I'm going to go in and just select the items that I've assisted him with. One of the things you'll notice is that we're recording the interaction time, so not only do we know how long Mr. Smith waited, but we're also going to know how long it took to serve him. And every time we complete a product or service, we're going to see those listed over here along with the time that it took to complete those individual items. So really giving us a picture into what's going on in this interaction, how long these items are taking, and as well as Mr. Smith's experience. When I'm finished, I might talk to Mr. Smith about a new credit card, and he might say, follow up with me about that later on this week. So I can put in a note here to follow up on the new credit card on September 4th. Later on, as an administrator or as a branch manager, branch managers can go through and search for notes with key terms like follow-up or credit card and assign those items out to staff for follow-up. So I'm going to wrap up Mr. Smith when I've finished the interaction. So there's really, from a business perspective, there's no interruption in flow. I basically approach Mr. Smith, I click on assist, I bring him back to the office. I don't have to do anything with the iPad. I completely focus on him throughout the entire interaction. After I've said goodbye, thank you for your business, then I will go in and click on wrap up. And that will conclude the interaction so that my branch manager and the branch management team will be able to see how long that interaction took. From a receptionist standpoint, if a visitor approaches either the teller desk or the reception, or perhaps there's a greeter who walks around with the iPad to check people into the branch, the process is very similar to what we saw earlier with the kiosk. I'm going to enter the name of the visitor. I have the option to enter phone number, email address, and any notes. I can select a staff member or a particular user, maybe that's a teller or a banker, and then I will select the products and services that person is here to talk about. I can add that visitor to the lobby, which means that the sales staff will come and take them out of the lobby. If it's something very simple like a balance inquiry or something that I can assist them with as a receptionist or as a teller right from my station, I can do an instant assist right there. I can also book appointments for this visitor. So as you can see, it's a very streamlined process. It's a mobile process, and everywhere along the way we're getting good data about what's going on in the lobby, which is going to help branch managers fine-tune their processes. Up at the top, we have a stats bar that displays critical information about the lobby. So no matter where we are in the tool, we're going to see how many visitors are waiting, what the current wait time is in the lobby, how many staff are signed in, and how many visitors have been served. So this is going to help branch managers spot service anomalies before they happen, because if we've got 2 staff signed in, we've got a 13-minute wait time, and we have 4 visitors that are waiting in the lobby, chances are we've got a little bit of a backlog. So that's going to help to spot those types of anomalies. We've got a miniature graph over here to the right, which is going to give us a history of today's visitor traffic. So just giving us that perspective, so we cement within our, begin to learn the patterns, the traffic patterns that visitors are following in the branch. So as you can see, it's a very simple tool. It's a streamlined process. And let me take a look at some of the administrative portion of this, where we look at some of the reports and the metrics that come out of this data. So for that, I'm going to switch screens. So here on our dashboard, we're able to see lobby statistics over time. We can see how many visitors have been served, the average wait time, how many abandons, and the average assist time in minutes. So over time here, we can see that our visitors are trending up. Our wait times have come down over the last few months. And as I drill into this information, I'm going to get some more pictures about what are the busiest times of the day that visitors are arriving. So we've got a heat map here that's going to outline how many visitors arrived at 9 a.m. on Mondays, how many were abandoned, what the average wait time and the average assist time were. So this really is going to help organizations determine adequate staffing levels. We've had several organizations that have identified periods of time where they were losing a lot of opportunity because their wait times were so long. Visitors were abandoning at very high rates, which helped them to be able to validate to create the business need for adding that additional person. Others have found places where they can re-optimize staff where there's not the business need, there's not the visitor traffic to drive to support the current staffing levels. We can look at our busiest days of week, and we can even look at products and services provided by employees in comparison with the branch. We can select particular products and services, so if we want to see who's doing the most medallion signatures or savings accounts, we can see that by person or by branch. So we've really provided a lot of ways to drill into the data and to provide those key insights on how to improve bank processes. One of the other things that one of our clients did in the Northeast is they found out that most of their members were coming in for online banking. So instead of using some of the other channels that the organization had provided, all their members were coming in to talk about setting up online banking. And that was consuming valuable sales time. So they figured out a way to revamp that process so that people weren't coming in, taking up the salespeople's time to work on something that's very service oriented. Again, we want our salespeople focused on sales. So that's an example of some of the ways that these reports have been used to improve business processes. So that concludes my portion today, and I'll pass it back to Chad.
All right, thanks, Kip. So management teams for many financial institutions have struggled with understanding the actual performance of the branch lobby. With so much potential to improve sales and service and better utilization of staff in the lobby, banks and credit unions can use the metrics and ideas from this webinar as a guide to improve their performance, including average lobby wait times for account holders, average account holder assist times per lobby service representative, and product versus service interaction percentage breakdowns. Consistently capturing and analyzing performance data and then properly employing the resulting business intelligence can help executive management teams drive the right employee behaviors that result in improved branch platform performance. Service, sales, and productivity metrics can dramatically improve the bottom line and, most importantly, sustain, measure, and track this improvement ongoing. All right, thank you very much to our presenters today. Both a recording of this webinar and the PDF of this PowerPoint will be available on our website. I will email a direct link to the webpage to everyone on this call. Now, it looks like a few questions have come in through the Q&A, and it's time for the Q&A session.
All right, first question here is for Kip. Kip, in the beginning of your portion of the presentation, the screen had mentioned accepting appointments. The question that you have is does the appointment software come with the lobby tracker software that FMSI provides, or is it a separate solution that somebody would have to get?
Absolutely. Thanks, Chad. Yeah, the appointment setting system is a separate module. It integrates into the lobby tracking system, but it is a separate module.
Okay, just to clarify, there is an extra cost associated with that?
That is correct.
Okay. I think that's what they were trying to figure out. All right, next question here is for Mike. Mike, this person wants to know, for assist times around specific products, are you guys using the tool to help understand, the assist times around specific products?
Yeah, for instance, if somebody was looking for a home equity loan or a mortgage, that's going to take a little bit of longer conversation, so we do kind of track that a little bit. If somebody was in for a mortgage and it was a quick conversation, they might ask the MSR, so what happened there? What was it that the member might not have been now that interested in, or that you weren't able to answer for them because it was kind of fast? So we look at it both ways, whether the assist time was a long time or a short time. And then one of the nice things we've also kind of found out from this is that if a member was in for something fairly quick, like maybe to get a document notarized or an address change, and the assist time was maybe 20, 30 minutes, the manager might go to the MSR and say, so Mr. Smith was in for a notary and he was there for 30 minutes. What went on? And the MSR can then kind of give some feedback that, well, we started talking about car loans or Visa credit cards, and it ended up working into a cross-sale opportunity and not just the notary that the member was interested in. So good information to have there as well, that our staff is asking additional questions and really trying to find out ways that they could save our members money.
All righty, sounds good. All right, next question here is for Kip. Kip, this person wants to know if there is individual performance reporting that's available through this lobby tracker solution.
Yeah, that's a great question, and actually a lot of our clients have used Lobby Tracker for performance management in a number of different ways. To give you an example, we have a client that uses it to track the amount of time that's spent in visitor-facing interactions. So if you have a salesperson who's a full-time employee, obviously you want them engaged with visitors, hopefully at least 50% of their time, ideally more than that. So with Lobby Tracker, you can track the amount of time that they're spending with visitors. We also have organizations that use Lobby Tracker to track and improve sales performance. And really, what I mean by that is we all know who our best sellers are, but it's sometimes determining why they're the best sellers is the challenge. So we've had organizations that will look at the ingredients of successful selling. How many visitors are they taking? What's their sales to visitor ratio? Things like that. So there's a number of ways that people use it. So absolutely.
Oh, great, thanks. All right, we have another question here from Mike. Mike, are you utilizing Lobby Tracker's abandonment rate numbers at all?
Yeah, we take a look at that. We haven't seen any real showstoppers there for us as far as any kind of issues to deal with, but we will keep an eye on that as well, just to kind of make sure that our members are getting the service that they need.
All right, sounds good.
All right, looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thanks to our presenters, and special thanks to everybody on this call for taking the time out of your day to join us. You can find additional resources on fmsi.com/resources, such as recorded webinars, white papers, and industry articles. Thanks again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.